those details. Now, Cornext, which is building a fodder ecosystem to support dairy cattle farmers, has raised $2.2 million in a seed round from Omnivore. Founded in 2015 by Madhav Kshatriya and Feroz Ahmed, Cornext technology makes compact 50 kg silage bales that are then sold to dairy farmers through a network of village-level fodder entrepreneurs. So joining me now is the founder of the company, Madhav Kshatriya, who's also the MD of Cornext Agri Products. Madhav, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. You know, you're building a fodder ecosystem to support dairy cattle farmers. So you're essentially solving the fodder deficit via your patented silage baling technology. So can you talk to us about what it is that you're doing here and how big of an opportunity is this?
Okay, first I'll talk about the crisis. There is a 35% shortage of green fodder in the country, which means millions of cattle starve without proper fodder. This actually turns into a huge business opportunity. Each day, a cow would require about 10 to 15 kgs to feed, which essentially runs into billions of dollars when it is organized. Heavily currently dependent on unorganized segment. Cornext has developed patented technology, which is also the most affordable technology in the world. And we currently have created about 300 plus entrepreneurs who are actively doing this, creating the backbone for the fodder that is required across the country.
Right. Can you then explain the business model for us? How does the fodder entrepreneur network work? How many do you work with currently, and how much can you grow this by in the next few years?
Sure. So we currently have about 300, out of which about 10% of them are currently working with us. We are planning to create a circular ecosystem, integrating them onto an e-marketplace. So each rural entrepreneur would have spare potential, and Cornext envisions to buy back all the fodder that is produced and make it available to the dairy farmer. So it is a F2F network, farmer-to-farmer network, integrated very well using all the technology that is required.
Right. So it's a farmer-to-farmer network, as you said. But, you know, on the supply side, talk to us about the sale of the silage, right? What kind of a network do you have here, and who do you work with? And at what kind of prices do you sell? Because, you know, the cost of it is what has been the biggest challenge, right?
Right. So there are three things that I would want to tell here. One, we work with large dairy cooperatives, and some of those are Amul's, Milma, KMF, Karnataka Milk Federation, etc. So there are several other cooperatives that will join the list as we progress. So that way, these cooperatives work as an aggregator wherever they are. Secondly, the model is decentralized. So KMF would be supplied all the fodder that they would be requiring either from Karnataka or some other district which is very close, which means the logistics, as you rightly said, cost about 8,000 rupees for us to deliver to the doorstep. Typically, grass currently is traveling, say, from Madhya Pradesh all the way to Rajasthan, selling at about 20 rupees. So currently, Cornext is successfully doing it at as low as 8 rupees because we have cut down on the amount of logistics burden that it would incur on the dairy farmers. That's the model that we are currently working.
All right. And, you know, you've raised $2.2 million. How do you plan to spend the funds? By how much will you ramp up your production? And where are these production sites at? And how soon do you expect to raise more money after the seed round?
Okay. So we expect to invest this money onto R&D. As I said, it is already the most affordable. We'll be spending more money. When you compare this with European technology, it comes under 3-4% for a farmer to set it up. And we'll also be spending on creation of a marketplace. And currently, we are a 30 crore turnover company. We would be looking at in the next 2 years to reach about 100 crore or a 3x from where we are currently. So the fund will be utilized to do R&D, expansion in the areas that we are currently working already, more intense work, and recruitment of resources. This will be useful for us over the next 2.5 years. This will be good to go.
All right. And how much do you hope to increase? What do you, at this current point, how much are you producing, and how much do you hope to ramp this up by?
Okay, so we currently produce on our own and also through the network. So the entire network is currently producing about 600,000. The infrastructure that we have created is good to go for about 600,000 metric tons. We visualize that we would be doing about 80 lakh or 8 million fodder rations by end of 25-26.
All right. You know, you also mentioned about how the technology is cheaper than what you get abroad, right? So you're also exporting into other major agrarian markets in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. So give us some insights into how these markets are doing for Cornext, and where will the next leg of growth come from? Are you also looking at expanding into other markets?
Yes, we manufacture machinery. So typically, if you buy an European, it ranges from about 60 lakhs to 2 crores, whereas we do it at about 10 lakh rupees. So the markets that are the focus areas would be Asian subcontinent, Latin America, Kenya. These areas have dairy farming profiles that are very suitable to Indian context. So we will be ramping up our sales exports in terms of machinery. There are several countries that are signing exclusive agreements with us so that we will be able to take this technology to them.
All right. You gave us a sense of what the revenues are that you're, currently clocking.Here do you hope to end this year? What's profitability looking like? Also, climate change is a big challenge for the business, right?
Right. So we are profitable to start with. This year, we will be making much progress and we will continue the profit without any problem. Now, coming to the climate impact, see the entire crop, there are multiple benefits. We harvest maize at about 85 days as an input that goes into it. So there is less amount of irrigation that is required for watering the plants, etc. And you are traveling less. And the most important thing is when a starving cow would produce more to a mark of about 20% greenhouse gas emissions. And by feeding silage, you are controlling greenhouse gas emissions. It is the 5th largest contributor to the pollution in the country. And you also know, if you're sitting in Delhi, everybody knows that the crop residues are burnt, which is completely polluting the North India. By conserving and converting it into fodder, you'll be able to save that much of crop residue getting burnt. These are multiple benefits as far as climate impact is concerned.
All right, so multiple benefits there. But can you also give us a sense of what your current presence is and where will we see you grow in India at this point?
So we are predominantly present in Southwest as far as silage is concerned. So we'll be doing more intense work in these areas. And Northeast would be the next focus area for us.
All right. So Northeast is going to be the next focus area for you. All right, Madhav, we've completely run out of time, but thank you so much for joining us on the show today. And we wish you all the best with your venture.